Kind of amusing to think that this side of the road has a swamp, but this is an unfinished road anyway. So I'm gonna pick one again. Here's my old one, and I'm gonna let it just kind of sit in the open air. Man, I lost a lot. You got to be careful when you pull these. I lost a lot there. Oh, yeah, I need to actually dig, I think. Oh, something gave away. Oh, the stalk's giving away. I could cut myself. I feel sharp. Ah, geez, I need two hands. All right, here's a good long piece. I want to give it a couple minutes to dry off so I don't get all caked with this mud. All right, with the cattail, I gotta peel it twice, so getting the dirtiest part off isn't so bad. I do get a little dirt on this second layer, but it's not so bad because then the really central layer is not going to be really dirty at all. It's too fibrous on this second layer, so it's three layers. So I didn't use any water to clean. It's mostly clean. Just pretty much scrape the dirt off. I have to spit out the fibrous stuff when I'm done with the center. This stuff does not need to be cooked at all. I could just sit back, kick back, and just chew on cattail roots. It's kind of nice. All right, I read up on these knapweeds. I believe these to be knapweed. The leaves are supposed to be edible. Yeah, it's got kind of a vegetable taste to it. Nothing, it's really bland. Alright, so the leaf is bland, the flower is bland. There is the root I just pulled. See, it's like carrot-like. I'll give that a try. I expect it to be bland too. When you change locations as much as I do, you have to be very flexible about herbal choices because I'm constantly finding different stuff, and a lot of it I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I suspect it might be good. Got the pot filled again. I took knapweed leaves and I don't know, that anti-malarial herb and alfalfa. Grass seems to be a large part of the bulk of the wild crafting that I do, because grass is just so plentiful, and I mean, it doesn't hurt me. I think it can only help. If buffalo manages to stay nutritious in the stalk through the winter, then I really want to get familiar with that, because that's quite a survival grass. It's always a blessed day when I can bring catfish and coffee together for a meal. So I got, with tomato sauce, and potatoes, and then some coffee, which was really hot. I had to toss in a lot of milk. What a nice combination. Love it. Alright, so this thing is called a freewheel tool. A freewheel tool. Alright, after spending some time in the library, it went from hot to cool down. The peak heat was I don't know, what did it get up to? 90s, high 80s. And now this nice cloud cover's come in to really cool things down. Whoa. At the very least, I just wanted to be in the shade. I wanted to guarantee that when I get back to my car, I'll be in the shade. And with the library closing at 4:45, that pretty much guarantees it. And it's just about to rain out here. I didn't even think to check the temperature, the forecast. All right, car's still here. You can see Walmart straight ahead off in the distance. But I gotta walk through a grassland to get there. Or if it's winter time, I'd have to walk. Oh my God. Walk through snow. All right, this evening I want to try to do a couple of things. I want to boil up some ginger discs in the teapot with grass. I want to go get grass too. And then that way I'll have a third ingredient with the tamarind ginger. I'm thinking I don't want to just go with tamarind ginger. And I was trying to decide what else could I mix in it. And I really can't think of anything that I have in here. And I want to do something. So I'm going to add some grass. Grass adds a little body anyway. And I also have milk too. If it doesn't taste very good, milk solves the issue. And I trust all three ingredients. All right, here's the knapweed root. Now my first impressions, well, I let it dry a little bit. It doesn't take long. My first impressions are that it reminds me of the burdock root. This is very similar in taste to burdock root. I wonder if they're the same, have the very similar properties. I'll find out. So I poured it into the tamarind liquid, and it's an insta curdle with the milk. Alright, so this really is not a mall. It's a shopping center. Because they took down any signs that would indicate what kind of shopping center it is. Usually they have a big name saying what kind of shopping center it is or what kind of mall. Maybe they just all went out of business. But they're still carrying some franchises. Here it is. It's called Prairie Hills Mall. Wow. You know, I never seen I wasn't able to find the sign that says outside on the parking lot. This is a mall. Looks like it's pretty packed with business. There's just nobody at this hour. So they still have Christmas stuff up. Maybe since it's too busy, they can just keep it up and just plan on Christmas, using that as a Christmas space. I think this is the first display I've ever seen in a mall for a museum. See that? They actually have a display to promote a museum here. I've never seen that at a mall, so this one must be really cheap. You know, my calf injury is serious. Just running across this road, it's still giving me problems, feeling like it's gonna blow out again. I don't understand. It's really bad. Alright, I'm a little curious about this plant. I tried a little bit now, and it's extremely bitter, and I'm a little dizzy. Is it wormwood? Is it related to wormwood in any way? I gotta see how the flowering is, but it's showing signs of toxicity, that's for sure. It's not just a real bitter bitter little thing. It affects my balance. All right, I'll still add this to my tea, my coffee. I think it cools my body heat down too. It's got a real bitter taste, makes me a little dizzy, and cools my body heat. And it might cool my body heat by way of affecting my blood circulation adversely somehow, because I don't feel as hot. It's like, did it suddenly get cold outside? I don't think so. Who needs a fan when you got a plant that cools you down? This is so strange. This plant, I think I kind of want. I want to collect a little bit before I take off. So I haven't really seen it anywhere else. It's hot, I think. The temperature gauge says over 120 in the car. Oh my God, and the windows are all pretty much up. It's pretty hot in here, but it's not affecting me as much because of this plant. But I wonder what kind of damage I'm doing. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd swear that narcotic plant is even stronger than any of the mints. All right, I was thinking maybe a natto could counteract that that bitter plant, that cooling bitter plant, but I think a natto takes out poisons, maybe not so much toxins. It just amazes me how this mystery bitter narcotic grows the same type of stock like motherwort, and they're both very bitter. But motherwort doesn't affect, well, motherwort puts me in a good mood, but this one is a narcotic and it cools me down. Motherwort I don't think cools me down so much. All right, I'm putting the magnet back. This is a bad calf. I feel a tight pack of muscle around here. It's a little tighter than on this calf. I don't know what to do exactly. I didn't do any treatment except the magnet, which I've kept on for the past week, but I'm going to put it back on and keep it there. I'm going to make sure I wear longer socks, because those shorter socks were putting the magnet under the shoe and it was rubbing on the inside and so annoying. I got to have longer socks for my left side, and then I can keep the magnet above, a little bit closer to the spot. Try to see if it can help with speeding up the repair. All right, I just wanted to point out that my experience now with this extremely bitter it's not a hallucinogenic, it's narcotic weed. I'm still drinking it by itself. I mixed it with coffee, and then I poured out the rest of this pot separately, straight into the cup. Extremely bitter and quite narcotic. It's so strange because it doesn't feel dangerous, but it feels narcotic. Like it changes my perception of things, like I'm under the influence of drugs slightly. And let me just mention that I've been going back and forth between this narcotic drink and my fish oil, just trying to drink the last of the fish down, and they go well together. I would not mix them together, but drinking them a little bit, just a little bit of bitter, and then I wash it down with a taste of the catfish, and it goes pretty well together. Bitter would also go well with oh my God, I got dates. I just remembered. The bitter would also go really well with a nice sweet fruit like this. I got to get through my catfish though first, so I guess I could save a little bit of this bitter for these. All right, just a little bit of bitter goes good with the dates. Not too much bitter though. I can only have so much. A little sip here and there in between. It's very reassuring to consume bitter with sugar, because that makes me feel like I digest the sugar better when I have that complementary taste. Alright, so I'm going to shave this branch I broke off over there, and also this little branch too. I was thinking, it's too bad that the Indians abandoned this type of activity. You know, they were doing this type of stuff. They knew about slippery elm and its properties, but they don't sit around and do any work with nature in the cities. Instead, they'll just drink or just talk. They've totally, in the cities at least, they've seemed to have totally abandoned processing wild herbs, which I'm sure their ancestors were doing a lot of.